Hey guys, last fan of the night.
Last fan of the night.
So for behind the scenes footage, we didn't do a whole. Oh no, I did do some behind the scenes footage of that light, and I'm probably going to take a little bit more of that on the way out. So for behind the scenes footage, go to patreon.com/dspiffy. What do we have here, Andy?
We have a Hunter C17 with Adaptair and a 3-speed rotary switch at the bottom of the housing. Might probably be a Brian Hicks question as to when this one dates from.
Well, we got 2 whole workbench videos that should be able to answer that question.
So we'll have to revisit.
You okay, Metal Pete? There.
Yeah. See what it says on the tag.
Yeah, serial number might be a clue.
Okay, this one was when this was made in Fulton, New York. C17. Can't really make out its serial number.
It's in really nice shape, though. I was very impressed at the shape of it. It's got some age-appropriate wear on the blades and on the switch housing, but all in all, it looks like it's in beautiful shape, I think.
Yeah, it's in good shape.
And, yeah. Anything you want to say about this, Metal Pete, before we get started?
Oh, yeah, definitely. This is definitely reminds me of a Sidewinder with that switch on the bottom.
Well, all antiques used to have that on the switch on the bottom. Yep, that was how antique fans were controlled. Or not all, but most. And
it's even still got
the numbers.
The off 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, like a Dayton Lasco.
Yeah. That was the equivalent of a standard 3-speed pull chain back then that every company used, or just about every company. Okay, is it set to low?
Yes.
Okay. And low is speed 3, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's drawn 1.97, no, up to 2.02. Definitely want to do RPMs on this on all 3 speeds. I'm guessing we probably don't need to do CFM until we get to high.
Right.
Because it's going to be probably pretty similar. The great thing for me in this stifling heat and humidity is that all 3 speeds are going to be pretty freaking powerful.
Mm-hmm. We want to do watts and...
Sure. 111 watts, so it's only half a power factor.
Oh.
Pretty quiet.
Sure is. Speed 3.
So we need an Andy scale. We forgot to do that in the last video, Andy. So, Are you familiar with our scales? We usually don't go over them till the end of the video. We didn't go over that in the last video, Pete.
Oh, I forgot.
Well, we can do a follow-up. What would the last fan have been in your scale, Pete?
Let's see here.
So Pete, it's always got to be a 3-tiered category. Yeah. And Pete's is, the bottom is butt rock or 5-finger death punch. The middle...
Kind of like... Or Steel Panther's Death to All, but metal.
The middle category is Slayer.
Yes.
And then the top category is Cannibal Corpse.
It starts to make it into that middle category.
Because it's a good, powerful fan.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just too modern for my tastes. But as far as its performance is, again, impressive.
So, Rick's categories are at the top, Avocado Appliance, middle, Wood Grain Station Wagon, and the bottom is Live, Laugh, Love.
With his rating, do you ever see our video, my vacuum video that I did on the avocado one? We did it, I had to have Rick in it because what he said at the end of the video was the littler one, the green one.
We're down to 1.83, by the way.
Yeah, he said...
What RPMs are we doing?
Okay, let me just... Oh, I was going to say, he said this is literally avocado appliance.
It is an avocado appliance.
So 718.
7.8.
I was trying to explain Rick's categories to my wife the other day. And now is Live, Laugh, Love, is that something he actively dislikes or is just ambivalent about?
Basically, it's the bottom or...
Well, you're right. But are they all 3 things that he likes just in descending
order?
No,
because he doesn't like Live, Laugh, Love.
Live, Laugh, Love is dislike, and then the other 2 are like.
Yes. So my bottom category is Jay Leno, who I actively dislike. Although bottom category doesn't have to be dislike. Jonas's categories are all House on the Rock based, and his top category is Organ Room, and his bottom category is the Dollhouse Room, and he still likes the Dollhouse Room because it's part of House on the Rock.
Yeah.
But you said, what did you get for RPM?
I got 718.
Okay, that seems about right.
It's like...
Yep, 180 on low.
200. This is like high for a...
Yeah, that's why I want to do all the speeds. I want to see how different they are or are not. So yeah, start thinking about some categories. Ideally, it would be 3 different things. Pete bucks the trend, and all of his things are the same.
They're all metal.
Yes.
They must be. They must all be metal.
Yes, but theoretically, it's supposed to be 3 completely different things. We're still workshopping mine, but right now we have Menards is by top category, Quick Trip is the middle, and then Jay Leno is the bottom.
Well, I got my categories because all my friends that they talk about, they all hate Nickelback because, again, so overplayed.
Very little difference between medium and low.
Yeah. Well, here's the RPM.
Nickelback is the band everyone loves to hate.
That's true, and they're not as bad as people give them credit for, but there's also no real reason to like them.
800, yeah.
Yeah, it's very similar. That makes sense. That's 200. Okay, well now for the moment of truth.
Did you do power factor?
I did. It's not really that different than low.
Now you can hear a little bit of that.
Yeah, startup.
Coil sound. People always say that about antique hunters, but I never really noticed it myself until.
Well, when we do 0 to high, I think you'll really notice it. We're leveling off right around 2 amps.
Okay. $881.
So there is but so again, the speeds aren't that different, but the biggest difference is between medium and high. Medium and low is not that different.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 220 on high. Let's see if the power factor is noticeably different. 134 watts. Now power factor is still pretty close to half. It's 0.56.
Okay, so this is a 52 inch.
Yeah.
So.
That was a real moment of truth, huh?
Yes.
Things pretty well balanced too, it looks like.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. 708. 708 is what I caught.
Yeah, this is a.
Yeah, so that's about 10,400
That's
CFM.
like a blender fan. This definitely is.
That's high end of a blender fan. Most blender fans are around 9,000. This is more
Right.
than a blender fan.
Yeah.
Not by, some blender fans are up that high, but yes.
Yeah, this is a great performer, like you said. Quiet,
Yeah.
Wobble free. It's
Yep.
like it's brand new.
But this, like that blender fan is a 2 amp one.
Yeah. Okay, we ready for spin down?
Yes.
Okay. And we should definitely do reverse in this case.
Or updraft, as it were.
Because it doesn't reverse the motor.
Yeah.
We will see.
I'm surprised that the bearings are perfectly silent, given that we haven't, we need to let some WD-40 work its way through and then put in some real oil. Right now, neither of those things have happened. We put WD-40 in, but it has not made it all the way into the oil cup. So this is really just going on, on faith at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Nice wingtip blades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as you mentioned, they are still awfully dry, but I gave them probably 4 coats of liquid gold each. But
Yeah, I mean,
probably use 4 more, and maybe even.
who wants to reverse it?
I can do it.
Yeah, this is one of his.
Oh, yeah, this is. You'll have a look at the tag.
What I was saying from that video.
We're getting a good look at the back of your shirt.
Oh, my camera's getting a look at the tag.
Bull for kids' sake,
Yes.
2013.
Okay, and here reverse. The adapter.
Do we want to do all 3 speeds in reverse? Or just high reverse? Because they're not that different.
Yes, we can just do high.
Okay. Should we do 0 to high then? It's already on high, Andy. So, okay, never mind. I was going to guess about the inrush, but we know it's going to be big, so.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Okay, so remember it runs around 2 amps. Where do you guys think it maxed out at?
I think it maxed out at 2.5.
You were watching, weren't you?
I already have a good idea.
Interestingly, it's actually drawing a hair less in reverse. It's drawing 1.97,
Feel
Oh,
that
wow.
which is interesting because the blade pitch appears steeper.
Coming up and out.
You want to try to get a CFM rating in reverse, Pete?
I don't know, that'll be.
It's worth trying to see what's different because the blade pitch is different.
I don't want to run it.
We're going to get a good reading.
531.
Okay. Yeah, so we probably don't have an accurate reading because.
No, it's
Okay. Do we want to do the decade box in reverse or downdraft?
For downdraft.
Okay.
All right. You can stop it by hand and put it back.
That mechanism's pretty clean too. Sometimes they're really stiff.
Yeah.
Pete's had to take them apart and grease them.
That one on the red one, or the painted red one, is definitely going to need to be taken
Yeah.
apart and cleaned.
Yeah. Well, you know how to do that now.
Yes. Actually, after being to Mark's house in Florida.
Yeah, Mark does that.
Yeah, he showed me, because he had one apart,
I've just let them soak. I've never actually taken. Well, I think I might have taken one apart years ago. I don't remember.
Well, he did also let them soak taken
Yeah.
apart, but, he was showing me how they come apart.
Where do we think it's going to start?
Okay, here's actually the interesting thing, because it's a shaded pole.
You're going to
Remember?
hit the 10 switch.
Yeah, we're going to see, will it
Now,
start
with your other test rig, where would you start it at? 8? Would you hit the 8 switch since you don't have a 10 switch, or would you just hit 8 and 2?
I would just hit 8 and 2 and see
Okay.
if it does over 10, or if it starts on 10, then we're going to see what it can do with the decade.
Okay.
So.
Nothing yet.
See? Okay, so I already going through the decade without the 10 would have been a waste of time.
Yeah.
So 10, 11, 12,
What we're using.
13, 14, 15.
There we go.
Okay, so it.
Let's see if it
started
stalls.
Nah, I ain't gonna stall.
Doesn't look like it.
Oh no, so like a standard wall control would have been useless, because it wouldn't have even
Yeah.
started. Like a 5, 8, and 13 would have been totally useless. Here is 16. It's a perfect low on 15.
It's a very, very beautiful low. I'll give you that.
Yeah, restaurant low.
Yep.
This would be, of course, a good restaurant fan.
Yeah.
Probably were back in the day.
Absolutely. You still see a lot of them in New Orleans.
Yeah, I believe it.
For whatever reason, New Orleans has a love with antique hunters and other antique fans too. You
I
still
know.
see a lot of antique fans installed in New Orleans.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of them were destroyed during Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
Here's
like so many houses had water damage and they just got filled with mold.
Yep.
Yep. Here's 17. 18. 19.
Okay, I forgot to bring my ear protection, so for my own safety, I'm gonna cover my ears. I'm gonna sit back here and I'm gonna pray.
And here comes
Here no crunch. See no
20.
crunch. See,
Crunch, 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 crunch.
Hear no crunch, see no crunch, speak no crunch.
I wish there was no crunching. But instead there is crunching. Crunch, 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 crunch.
And there's 21.
Oh.
22.
We're actually getting a range of speeds with this. Yeah, we got a ways to go. We got all the way to 2 amps to go.
23. 24. And this I knew I was going to need this test rig for.
Yeah.
25.
We're getting closer.
26.
Do me a favor. Hit the high switch for a second and then let it down. I want to see because this is drawing what it would have drawn on the factory low. Yeah, because that's the thing with a shaded pole is they have trouble getting up to speed when they don't have full power. But once you give it a push, it goes a lot faster.
Yep. Here's 27.
I have a feeling that 28 is going to be over.
Where am I at? What did it drop down to on high?
Hit the high switch because now we're climbing. Hit the high switch. Okay, so not quite, but close. No, we are over.
Okay. All right.
So solid state, what do you think it's going to do on the solid state?
I'm gonna give it the benefit.
Let Andy guess first. Give it the benefit of Andy.
Okay. I'm gonna say living room quiet.
Your metalness?
I'm going,
It's not a crunching speed. Why are you crunching? You could have put us all at risk.
I'm gonna say silent.
I'm going to say bedroom quiet then. Won't be able to
The
tell.
question
Over.
is, at what point is the fan louder than the crunch?
Never. A fan can never be louder than the crunch. Crunching is the loudest sound known to man.
Maybe in 1895 on a solid
Nope.
state.
Nope. The crunching is louder than Todd's B3 with 3 Leslies.
Oh man. Okay. There we go. So far, pretty impressive.
Yeah, a lot of times they are.
That might be silent. Here's
Maybe
the-
just a whine, but that's...
The whine is there no matter what.
Right.
I don't count any noise that the fan would make under normal circumstances. I'm fine calling that silent.
Yeah, I don't tell any difference from the other controls.
Nope. If we were to install this somewhere, I would happily put it on a solid state.
Yeah, just like over in the office storage room that we have there.
Those don't make a lot of noise, do they?
No.
Okay, is that all the tests?
We didn't do an actual 0 to high. We didn't...
We did in reverse, but let's do it in forward.
Yeah.
We can go ahead. So, I think we already know it goes up to like 1.5 amps, so there's no guessing to be done. Yep, 2.52 and then drops. Leave it on high for our outro. If you want to start plugging the lights back in, you can for our sponsors. But
Oh, yes.
but let's get some cool air in here moving because So okay. So first of all, we forgot to do on the last fan. We forgot to do our category tests.
Oh, yeah.
So Andy, you don't have to name your categories yet. I mean, you feel free if you have them. It can be camera, train, and
Tornado.
Yeah.
no, because he likes all those.
Yeah.
Yeah, tornado would be the top.
Storm.
Yes.
I like the memes that I made about Andy for storm, so it's got to be all storms, not just tornadoes. So yeah, storms. Okay, so storms is Andy's top category,
Okay.
and then you got to come up with a middle category, something you like, but like it's not.
Not the best.
Middle would be trains.
Okay, we got these are very and what's something. So the way that I look at the bottom categories is you would pick it up if it was on the side of the road for free. You wouldn't leave it there, but you also wouldn't pay money for it.
Yeah, that one's gonna need some thinking.
Okay.
So, but this is definitely a storm, isn't it?
This is top
Oh,
tier.
yeah.
Yeah. What was the whisper wind, by the way? Is that a storm or a train?
I'd say storm, not as high up the enhanced Fujita scale as this one.
So, Pete, what about you?
Oh, this is definitely Cannibal Corpse. Both at its...
I'm gonna guess that this is avocado appliance. I actually don't know. All the fans that we were gonna test today, we talked about with Rick, except this one because he was supposed to be here and they ended up missing it. I know he was really upset about missing the other ones we were gonna test and didn't. We didn't really talk about this one. I'm guessing that this is still his top category, though. I know he likes these. We can leave it up, so the next time he comes, if he wants to see it, he can.
Yeah.
I don't know how Jonas these are. I'm gonna guess that this is everybody's top category.
Yeah. Being organ room.
Organ room, and in my case, Menards. The reason my top category is Menards is because you save. My categories are based on what I would spend, and I'd spend my top category is what I would spend big money on. And where do you save big money, Andy?
Menards.
Yeah. So that's my top category. This is I spent by definition big money on this. Not what that price tag says it is, but I spent over $100 on it. I think it was like 150 maybe.
Where was this one was shipped as well?
It was at an antique store somewhere. I'm not sure where. The store had it posted on Facebook and was willing to ship it. And I was like, yes. And I'm thinking it was probably the same store that had the tag on it, and they kept dropping the price because nobody was buying it. I don't know. I never saw it at a higher price. That's my guess. I don't know.
This one was shipped properly.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if FedEx packed it or if somebody, because like I think the guy, because you know antique stores have different vendors. I think the guy that was selling it was actually a fan collector, but not like a vintage ceiling fan collector, like a guy who mainly did desk fans, like an AFCA type guy.
Sure.
So I think he might have packed it, and I know he did a heck of a job.
That's his GoPro.
Yeah,
Oh.
That's it running out of battery.
Well, perfect timing then. Too bad we didn't get to the other fan, but you know, we'll have to do that when we have more battery. So, anything else we want to say about this one? We got all the categories, right?
Yes.
You want to hit that switch over there, Andy, while you're over there? Just give us a little more breeze on our way out. Okay, well, let's thank our sponsors then. Of course.
Fan stick.
Well, you could have used one of our sponsors to hit that switch.
But
What?
I don't know how you twist it.
Talk about the wall switch there. Use
Oh, yeah.
fan stick to reach it from afar.
Oh yeah. Well, that would. Yeah, that is fan stick, but I usually think of a light switch, like light.
We could have used light stick.
Yes.
So to find out more, where can they go, your metalness?
Buyfanstick.com.
Fanstick.biz, lightstick.biz. I don't know if I'm going to keep all these domains because they're getting expensive. They renewed at a higher price than I bought them for. So I may ditch some of the domains, but we're definitely going to keep buyfanstick.com and buyfanstickxxx.com.
About Florida fan stick.
Let's buyfanstickxxx.com.
69% longer.
That's why it's XXX.
That's what she said.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, the lighting in our videos is sponsored by the Good Manufacturing Company because we didn't need excellent lighting, we just needed good. I was pretty full earlier. I had 2 metal burgers, and they were pretty substantial metal burgers. But you know, if I was hungry, do you know what I would have wanted?
A taco burrito Mexico.
Taco burrito Mexico. And you know what I would have? Actually, you know what? I am thirsty from all this heat. You know what I wish I had right now?
Yes.
A Sperry, the beverage of fan collectors.
And
Available only at Fanimation swap meets.
Yes.
What's the slogan for Sperry?
It's very good.
So, we heard earlier from our sponsor, 81220 LLC, where our motto is crunch, 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 crunch. And, of course, there's Rick or Sheep, a fun game you can play with your friends. To play Rick or Sheep, go to rickorsheep.com. Anybody seen Metal Jonas? Is he still around?
Oh my. Well, any homestead catalogs with those doorbells?
What kind of doorbells do you like, Metal Jonas?
Oh, new tone doorbells.
The tone doorbells are pretty cool. What do you... Go ahead. What were you going to say?
New tone doorbells. I think I did say.
Yes. Well, what do you think of House on the Rock, Metal Jonas?
House on the Rock. Oh, one word. Incredible. One word. Magnificent. One word. Overwhelming. One word. Wow. Incredible, incredible, incredible.
What's your favorite room at House on the Rock, Metal
Oh,
Jonas?
that organ room. The Wurlitzer.
Is there a Wurlitzer there?
Well, I'm guessing it's a
Okay, we'll find out because other Jonas might actually know what those organs started out at life at. They ended up life as custom organs.
Usually, theater type organs are Wurlitzer.
Well, we'll have to ask other Jonas.
Yes.
Lesser Jonas, secondary Jonas. Okay,
Original Jonas.
Yes, but I mean, does he really count as the original when there's Metal Jonas?
Yes, because
No.
I'm the one that created the character off of that, so he's the one.
Shh. Original Jonas gets no credit. Metal Jonas gets all the credit. Okay, so for behind the scenes footage, I'm going to take some footage of Pete's light fixture install from today and put it up on Patreon. So if you want to see that, go to patreon.com/dspiffy. As always, what else can they do to support?
Buy fan stick.
Thanks for watching.